Okay, so I have had the STAX Spirit S5 from Edifier delivered today, and they sent me last year's S3, which I reviewed on Neowin, the full written review. That's in the description below, the link to it. I will also write a review about these as well, so it'll be more in depth with full details and all that kind of stuff with my usual photography too. That's going to be done in about 5 days' time, maybe a week or so. So I'll update this video review with a link to that review link in the description as well. But for now, I just wanted to do a quick video outlining initial review from day one. I've spent all day listening to these and just giving a take on what's what. This is probably the first video on YouTube or any video platform in English. All of the videos I've seen of the S5 so far have been Chinese or another language, so it's been a bit weird. I believe I am the first Western reviewer to have these as well, or have these sent out. So these were sent out by Edifier for review. No words were given or anything like that. They just said review them how you did with the S3. They liked that. So here I am. Yeah, I did have a few gripes with the S3, and I did feed that back to Edifier, and I'm happy to say that from what I've heard so far of these and experience, they have fixed a lot of those gripes that I had. One or two remain, but I think that might be a technical or an engineering limitation rather than them actually not wanting to fix those things. So I'll cover those in the full review anyway, and I'll mention it in this video review. But off the bat, in reference to what other headphones I'm comparing against, I've obviously had the S3. I've given those to someone else, so I don't have those here to compare directly against, but you don't really need that for the purpose of this. I have my Hi-Fi Ananda Nano, which I've modded. So I've got a custom mod headband in there with the elastic strap and quick fasteners, and Vormax velour memory foam earpads. These are insanely comfortable. So with that combination, the comfort and the sound is just transformed. This is like end game headphone now, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, nothing that I've listened to or will listen to probably in the near future will match these, unless Hi-Fi send me something. I don't know. These are my personal ones. I bought these. But the price I paid for these, you can get the S5 for, at least the online price anyway. So they've got big shoes to fill. Such a small, I mean, look at the size difference compared to them. It's like half the size. Yet the sound quality of these are pretty insane, I have to say. They are really good. So main differences, first off, the drivers look the same, but they are Gen 2 of the equal mass diaphragm that Edifier have been using from Audeze. So it's a combination of STAX technologies and Audeze collaboration that they've used. The plastic on the ear cups and the general headband itself, it's all been refined, so it's no longer really smooth, stain prone or scratch prone plastic. It's nice quality now, nice and thick. It's not soft touch or leather or anything like that. It's just plastic with a really soft texture to it. It's quite nice. The backs of the ear cups, then it's not faux leather, it is actually top grain cowhide leather. So that was quite surprising. It feels really premium, and that's nice. The S3 had a carbon fiber effect back cover with the gold STAX logo. This is sort of embossed on, which looks kind of neat. So yeah, the refinements on the outside are nice as well. The headband leather, that is actual cowhide again as well, with soft foam inside, just standard foam, not memory foam. So it'd be interesting to see how this lasts, because I can imagine this foam is going to get softer over time, and maybe this metal headband will become uncomfortable once that happens. But yeah, we'll have to see how long that takes. Adjustments, obviously all there as well. The Edifier website says the pivot system has been revised, so it pivots more and offers more range of movement. Yeah, that seems about right. Maybe it pivots a little bit more than the S3 did. S3 when it's about there, this goes a bit further. So there is that. The earpads themselves, they still clip on the same way, but I have noticed slight revisions. So you can see here, there's like a foam ring that surrounds the fitment now, so it creates a better seal. and it feels a bit more premium as well. I don't know, for some reason it just feels more rigid, and there's a bit more weight to it as well. This is the microfiber mesh, the cool ice pads they call them. So it's like a microfiber with memory foam underneath. Look at that. And these are really comfortable. Or gel, sorry, or memory foam. Memory foam or gel, I can't remember what it is, but it feels like memory foam, and it molds to the ears. And these are really comfortable. I like these a lot. It also comes with lambskin, genuine lambskin leather ear pads, and these don't use memory foam. These are just foam, so these will go weaker, compress over time. And again, same fitment, same foam ring, same fabric film. Blow that dust away. So these are pretty cool. I don't like leather pads, to be honest with you, and I don't like the sound that you get through these as well. It colours the sound in a certain way. It just sounds a bit harsh. Whereas the mesh pads, yeah, these sound awesome. The taking on, putting them off, exactly the same as the S3. So it is literally a case of making sure it does seem to only go on one way. So just make sure it's the right way around. And then that's it, done. Get rid of that dust. Yeah, so the pivot system's all there, so that's really good. The case that comes with them is slightly different. The outside has been changed, so this looks a bit more premium, a bit more robust. The S3's case, it always felt a bit aftermarket, like at last stage of production they thought, oh, we need a case, we'll just put STAX Spirit on it and then done. But this is more revised, a bit nicer. The only downside to the new case is the top pocket. There is no pocket, whereas there was on the S3. So that's a bit annoying, because I used to put the cable and adapters and things in there, and the ear pads could go in there as well. The ear pads still come with their own little pouch, which is kind of neat, I guess. So I guess you could put a cable in there or something, I don't know. And it comes with these dividers now, which is quite interesting. It just came with a single piece divider before, and now it divides in between the gap when you fold it in, because these fold in to store away as well. In terms of buttons and layouts, exactly the same as before. So you've got a 3.5mm jack on the left can and a USB-C jack on the right can, along with the Bluetooth pairing button and the volume and power buttons and play pause multifunction. I don't remember the S3 having this feature, but the S5 now, you have the option of using it wide via 3.5 and USB-C. So that's quite interesting. And as a result of this, you still need to have the headphones powered on when using wired, even if it's 3.5 passive. So the volume controls do work that way as well. So you've got two volume control systems. So whenever I'm using it via wire on my amp topping MX3S, I do need to make sure that the volume is maxed out on the headphone. So slightly annoying. That was one of my gripes in the S3, but I guess it's an engineering reason for having that, especially now that you can USB-C to a phone or even a PC. I guess it will just act as a wide USB headset. Yeah, so there is that. Wireless wise, I have a Samsung S24 Ultra. I'm pointing over there, but I'm actually using it to record this video. So yeah, it, or all of the Samsung phones, modern ones anyway, they support LDAC and so on. So on my phone I am using it via LDAC, works perfectly fine. I can't seem to get LDAC working on my PC though. I've got a Realtek Bluetooth 5.3 dongle. Now these are Bluetooth 5.4, so I don't know if it's that might be the reason why, some compatibility issue. But it works perfectly fine with the aptX HD, and I've got aptX HD set to 24 by 48, which is 90% of all my audio listening on PC is 24 by 48. And to do that, I'm using, I will go over this in the full review, the written review as well, but I'm using the alternative A2DP driver for Windows. And what that allows is you to manually select a Bluetooth codec for your headsets. And as you can see there, it lists all the paired headphones or speakers or whatever Bluetooth device you've got on your system. And you can go through and change the codec that headphone or speaker will use. and it will grey out any that are not supported. So even though the S5 supports aptX low latency, I can't select it there for some reason. So yeah, I don't know why that is. It might be a compatibility again. An LDAC I could not get working. It just doesn't have a status for it when it's active. There's nothing there at the moment. It's powered off, so it won't show anything. But yeah, 24x48 works perfectly fine, and the quality and clarity, couldn't tell any difference between using it via wired or aptX HD. So that's really good. It means the internal DAC or whatever the amplifier is inside is doing its job for both wireless and wired. Whereas on the S3, there was a noticeable quality difference between wired and wireless on the same PC. And also with wired on the S3, there was some electrical interference that I could hear through the ear cups whenever I plugged in my amp to the 3.5. So that is fixed here. In terms of EQing on the phone, you have the Edifier Connects app with an X, the Connect app with a T, that works with the S3. With the S5, you've got to use the Connects app with an X. But they work the same way. You can enable, disable LDAC, LHDC, that kind of stuff. Game mode, which is the low latency mode for gaming, it uses aptX adaptive at 89 milliseconds latency. Now, you need to toggle it manually on in the Connects app while it's paired to the phone, but it will not remember it when you then disconnect it and pair it with, say, the PC or something else. You'll have to then, when you go back into the app, when you pair it back onto the phone, you'll notice that game mode is disabled. So that's slightly annoying. That was one of the gripes I had with the S3. So that's probably the only thing that hasn't been revised or refined or fixed. So I'm guessing there's a reason, a technical reason for that. In terms of sound clarity, these do sound very much like baby large driver planners. They are planners anyway, but large speakers like that. The sub bass does not kick as low, so it isn't as defined, but the sound stage, the articulation of vocals, instrument placement, stereo imaging, this is, if you blindfolded me and put these in my head, I'd think they were open back headphones. That's how nice and how musical the soundstage is. It's not like Sennheiser HD650 levels of veil or soundstage. To my ears now, the 650s sound a bit too narrow, too constrained in their soundstage, and I had those since 2014. So yeah, these are something else. It just shows how much headphone tech has changed in the past decade or so. So my go-to for critical listening and whenever I just want to kick back with a unique experience, these will go on my head. Massive anyway, look at the size of those. And for everything else, including video watching and music and everything else, or if I don't want to disturb people or have external noise or whatever, stick these on. There's no noise cancellation again like the S3, but you don't need them. They're closed back, and the pads themselves, whether they're the leather ones or these, does isolate sound from the outside world, and you won't leak sound either. And I think the foam on the inside helps with that too. But the sound, yeah, man, these sound. A lot of reviewers, once the Western reviewers get their hands on these, yeah, I predict 90% of them gonna prefer these over the S3, and to my ears, I think these are probably the best sounding closed back headphones currently on the market. They're expensive, don't get me wrong. You can probably get better value for money from other headphones that are a lot cheaper but sound near to what these might do. But these are planar magnetics, remember, as well, and they have a certain sound that dynamic drivers can't match, whether they're big or smaller drivers like these. These just have a level of clarity and depth to the bass and detail without being boomy that, yeah, it's just hard to describe until you listen to something like this or this directly yourself. Speaking of those, I do have a video on these, how I modded them, what I used, with a link to everything as well. So check out my other videos. There is a video dedicated to just the Ananda Nano, and obviously the cable link as well. But yeah, these do come with a 3.5mm cable, same as the S3, really thin, lightweight, does the job. It's low resistance, so no issues with that at all, so that's fine. I think it's 1 meter as well. I've got it corded up there. But yeah, I really like these. It's everything that needed refining from the S3 has been refined in the S5. So yeah, for me, these are a keeper. I might even travel with these, I don't know yet. They're quite compact, but I don't want to damage them. It's anything. I've got wireless TWS buds down there anyway, so I'll use those if I need to for traveling. But yeah, the mesh pads are really comfortable, really nice sound through them as well. Better sound dynamics than through the leather, but I know some people do like leather, so yeah, there is that. But yeah, that's the STAX Spirit S5, and as I said, I will put the full link to the review in about a week's time once I've done it. I forgot to mention as well the A2ZP driver. This is a 7-day free trial if you do want to try it out on your Windows PCs, and it's only like £6 if you do want to buy it after the trial. Very much worth it. If you're listening to headphones, wireless headphones especially, or wireless speakers or anything, then don't let Windows use the whatever the lowest base codec is for your device, because you're not doing them justice. Use something like this, specify aptX HD or LDAC or whatever is supported by whatever headphones you're using, and get it. It's probably the only piece of software, short of my productivity stuff, Lightroom and so on, that I've paid for on Windows. Everything else is usually free, open source, but this has very much been worth it. For £6, you buy burgers for more than that, so yeah, definitely check that out. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. But yeah, thanks for watching.